All right, they just set the push, so we'll be going here momentarily.
Okay.
Good afternoon and welcome to our First Alert Fastcast as we interrupt local news live, to bring you what we are working on this afternoon. And we're working on what you'd expect us to be working on a day like today after everything you've heard over the last few days, and that means weather. So let's quickly take a look around what we're seeing now, and then we'll bring in Keith Gibson to find out what's happening and if it's going to get worse or if we've dodged a bullet here. So there is a look right now at our Green Bay sky cam. You can see snow's falling, but the roads, that's the biggest concern, right? Those look absolutely fine there. If we go to Appleton, we can take a look at downtown Appleton. We'll see more flurries on the screen, but again, pay attention to those roads. Those are main roads. We get it, well-traveled, but still looking pretty good there. We go down to Oshkosh, and again, snow falling, maybe a little off on the side streets there up in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, but that main thoroughfare looks pretty clear. Let's go out west and take a look. This is our Shawano Skycam. Again, flurries, but wet roads, not white roads. Just for fun, let's go take a look up at our Sturgeon Bay Skycam. We can see the bridge there off to the right. Cars moving just fine. The marina there getting snowflakes, but not terrible. And if we can get a decent picture from our Manitowoc Skycam, and that's breaking up for a little bit, but you still see the flurries. And again, just like everything else, clear roads and wet roads, but not white roads, and that's the important part. Let's bring in meteorologist Keith Gibson now and find out what exactly we're seeing now, what we're going to see a little bit later on. Keith, good afternoon to you. Very busy day. We appreciate the time. Fill us in. What's happening?
Okay, Chris, let's give everybody the heads up. And first, temperatures are above freezing, 32, 35, 36 degrees, and that milder air has really been eating away at the falling snow. And that's why we've had a limited sizable accumulation so far as of earlier today, about 1 to 3 inches of snow through about midday. Now, let's go check out First Alert Viper Max. We have had a little bit of a lull earlier in the day, and now we have more snow moving through the Fox Valley. The darker blues illustrate where we have the heavier snowfall rates, but keep in mind the temperature is still at or above freezing here, 32 to 35 degrees. So even though we do have some snow falling, it's still not heavy enough on the big picture or in the big picture to get all of it to stick as snow. But over time, that will likely occur down to the south. This is southern Wisconsin down towards Fond du Lac, Milwaukee, and Madison. We have more snow, and that will continue to move in our general direction. This is a big system, Chris. It goes all the way down into Illinois and Iowa. That's the snow band. And that big snow band you see right there, that is going to be what will be moving across northeastern Wisconsin over the next 12 hours. So it's been a little bit of a letdown as far as actual snowfall that has been measured and accumulated. Snow has been falling.
Yeah.
It's just been a little bit too warm.
Yeah, you talked about that yesterday when you said how warm the ground is and how wet the snow is. So when it hits, we might see 5, 6 inches of snow fall from the sky, but we won't see it on the ground. I want to go back to this the Viper Max that you showed here. We see a lot of that green pushing up over Lake Michigan, and you were talking about this as well. So is that where that warm air is coming from that's making it really hard for this snow to stay formed and fall at the rate that we thought? Is that where that warm air is coming from?
Yeah, keep in mind the lake and the bay and even Lake Winnebago is not frozen over. It's well above freezing into the 30s, and we've had a component of wind coming off those warm bodies of water, and that is keeping things milder for us, which has had a big impact on our snowfall rates here and snowfall accumulations. And we've actually had some rain mix on in today with some of that snow. But over time here this evening, I do anticipate the snowfall rates to pick up and counteract more of that milder air we've had.
All right, I'm just going to push this up too. We talk about the travel. Here's a DOT cam right now. You can see those road conditions are pretty good. I'm going to go back to what you have, the first alert road conditions. Everything looking pretty good there, but obviously the concern is going to be for the commute home. So when do things start to change here? What are you concerned about, if anything, here as we move into the late afternoon and early evening commute hours?
Yeah, sure. So right now our main road's doing okay here in general, but some of those side streets still a little bit iffy from what we had earlier today. Now I'm going to expand the view out here, and notice southern Wisconsin, all of that pink. That's where we have more snow that has been accumulating over the last couple of hours. So as the snowfall picks up here across our area, I do anticipate things to go downhill a little bit more. And keep in mind, we have the winter storm warning and winter weather advisories that will continue through the night. So this is going to continue and ramp up a little bit over the next couple of hours before it winds down after midnight. Now, folks may be thinking, well, how much more snow do we have coming our way? And at this point, it looks like actual snow that will be falling from the ground, not necessarily all sticking from the valley to the lakeshore and south, 2 to 4, perhaps a little bit higher in some spots, maybe 1 to 2 back to the northwest. So in the big picture, we are going to be skewing on the low end of that 4 to 8 inch range we were talking about yesterday. So again, we talk about snowfall expectations in ranges, Chris. It's not all 4, it's not all 8 inches, and that's a range.
Yep.
You know, we talked about the last 1-2 days, so I just want to let everybody know clearly that when we show you those maps, the hand-drawn map, that has a range on it. So, but more snow is for sure coming our way.
All right, yeah, let's talk about that, because once we get through this one, we got a little jab and then maybe a pretty good uppercut coming on Friday.
Yeah, I want to talk about our temperatures real quick. Quick, Chris. Easy. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. My mind's all over the place. But notice our temperatures here. So if we were 31 or 32 or 30 degrees across the board, all of this would be snow. And it would be sticking, and we have a serious problem. But right now, temperatures range from about 31 in Lakewood, but most of the Fox Valley and the Lakeshore, 33, 34, 35. Appleton right now is still reporting 36. This is actually going to be the warmest that we will have as far as temperature for a while. So enjoy these balmy 30s we have now, because, Chris, we have a major thing coming our way, big change later on this week. So go back and bring up a sky cam real quick. So
sure.
I can,
do you have a preference? I have that all at my fingertips. Here.
Okay, go ahead and pull up that Oshkosh camera real quick. And like, if you look closely at the street there's a little bit of slush building up there in the median there.
Yeah, we know up in that upper left-hand corner behind the tall building on the left there, you can start to see it gathering a little bit.
Yeah, we do have slush buildup ongoing now. Let me just move my graphics around real quick. So as the snowfall rates pick up and we start to have our temperatures cool down a little bit, more of that snow will start to stick. So, you know, we'll have snow for the rest of today. Let me actually, I'm winging. I'm winging this, Chris. Bear with me.
We both are, but you are doing the lion's share of the work here. But if you need me to throw you a life preserver, let me know.
No. Yeah, it's. You would think I could just drag and drop some of these graphics, but I actually have to stop, play, shuffle, and then hit play again. Okay, so next 24 hours, real quick. Let's talk about where we are headed with the storm we have currently in play. Again, that first alert weather day continues through tonight and tomorrow morning's commute. So the snow is going to pick up over the next couple of hours. Wind gusts now still anywhere from 30 to 40. That's going to stay with us for the rest of today into this evening. So higher snowfall rates, gusty wind will lead to travel problems here through the evening once the snow really starts to stick. And that will gradually wind down. The snow will wind down after midnight. We get down into the mid and upper 20s tomorrow morning for the commute. So any slush is going to tend to want to freeze up tomorrow morning. And so we're going to have to watch out for icy spots and all that that comes with the frozen slush tomorrow morning. And it's going to be a pretty quiet day on our Wednesday. But there could be a little bit of light snow Wednesday night, Thursday morning, perhaps a ½ inch to an inch, maybe a little bit more. That's more or less a nuisance. We'll have more on that in our 4 o'clock show. But I want to show you the big picture. So looking ahead here, we have another system that could affect the region Friday. This is going to take a similar track somewhere out of the southern plains and make a beeline towards the Great Lakes. Now, this run is the European model, and this is a little bit more aggressive as far as snow and wind in our region. The American GFS model is actually a little bit farther east and southeast and not as impactful. I would consider this like maybe like the worst case here. So we just need to be prepared for the possibility, Chris, on Friday into Saturday for some wind-driven snow, accumulation, and more travel problems here. That's not guaranteed, but it's a definite possibility. We'll still be in the upper 20s here through Friday, and then on the back side of that, whatever happens with it, we're looking at Arctic air, the coldest air of the season, and it's going to be with us here for at least a week or two. So a good chunk of the rest of the month is going to be cold after we get the snow out of here. And speaking of how cold it could be, I'm going to show you some dangerous wind chills here. These are wind chills early on Sunday morning, minus teens to minus 20s. And going into Monday, I'm going to animate this, not too many changes here. Maybe approaching minus 30 Monday morning. That's how it's going to feel when you factor in the cold air, which will be below zero, single digits below zero. But the wind is really going to be brisk here, Chris, as we get into the weekend and next week. So we'll get the snow done really by the start of the weekend, sometime Saturday. And then after that, the weather pattern as far as snow is concerned is going to take a back seat. But the thing that will be in the forefront is just going to be cold air for a while. And highs will be, right now we're advertising single-digit highs Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and maybe some teens after that. So like I said, mid-30s right now. It's balmy. We're not going to have temperatures like this for a while.
So a quick question on that blast that's coming, that Arctic blast. With the snow, there's still variables and things could change, whether how much we get this or that. But there's no way we're dodging this cold, right? There's nothing that's going to change that, right?
No, the cold's coming in regardless. And
winter's revenge.
And it's not just going to be here. It is going to be across most of the eastern U.S., east of the Rockies. And just as a side note for folks that may have interest in going down to see the Packers on Sunday in Dallas, you'll get there okay if you don't get affected by the storm here in the Great Lakes. But down in Texas this weekend, Sunday, highs will be in the upper 40s early. And then it looks like
they're going to get a blast?
Yeah, after the game is done, if you're still in Dallas and want to stay down there into the early part of next week, plan on wintry weather. There could be some ice, and temperatures may be struggling to get to freezing on Monday in Texas. So this is a cold blast that's going to affect most of the country.
All right. Speaking as someone with experience of covering a football game in Dallas during an ice storm, i.e. Super Bowl 45, not fun. They are not prepared for that at all. So those folks trying to get back on Monday might have a problem. All right, Keith, we thank you. We appreciate it. You got a lot to do and get busy for the rest of the day. Thank you so much.
You bet.
And we thank you for joining us here on this Fastcast. We'll see you back here on Action 2 News at 4, 4:30, 5, and 6 o'clock. And for now, we're going to send you back to Local News Live.